welcome to the Medicine Show on the road. We are in Glasgow and catching up with an old friend, old friend. In years since we've seen each other, George.
It's been a long time.
Kaiser George Miller. I'm in George's house. I'm delighted to be here. Has been a long time, but you know what? I think that's still the same guitar, is it not?
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not.
No, it's very similar.
It is very, very similar.
Yeah. No, the other one got lost. There's a story behind it, but I'll not get into it.
So George was in a band called the Stinglights before he was Kaiser, George, and Kaisers. And do you know this, George? I don't know if you actually know this. You were the first band that I ever put on any. You get the blame for it all.
It's my fault. Sorry about that, Rob. But you know,
everything that's happened. George and the Stinglights. I remember seeing you in the Rose Street Hall and just falling in love with the band. There was just so much energy.
Well, we had a lot of energy. We were young.
I think I was a tad older, but young as well. And I remember I had a record shop and I booked you guys to come do our first Christmas party, back part of this,
Right.
Phoenix.
Yes.
Remember the gig?
I'm not sure if I remember the gig. I'm sure we went to your house, though. Did we not go to your house?
Stayed at my bit,
Yeah, I remember being in your house.
Yeah.
But I'd need prompted to remember the gig.
Yeah. It was sold out. There was 80 folks there and they all went thrashing about, bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
As was the way of things.
It was indeed, yes.
So I want to catch up. We'll do that in a bit of time. We've got a bit of Link Ray.
Yes.
On the and that's important because we're going to go and meet.
We're going to meet the small version of Link Ray.
Yeah.
Mini Link.
And just about the history of rock and roll as well.
Well, yeah.
It's right out there.
There's a bunch of it in the cupboard. Do you want to go and look at it?
Let's go look at the family, George.
Okay.
George, in the meantime, he's just telling me that this is a lockdown project.
I'll let you go in, Rob, because
I should go in first.
Yeah, there's not much room in here.
And this is George's lockdown project. For goodness sake. I do know where to start. We're going to start with Link Ray.
Yeah.
There it is here. And the Stones are ever present, eh?
They're kind of, yeah. I've those drawings up the top are paintings.
Yeah.
I saw them online and I thought I've got to have them because if you look at the way that they've been painted,
yeah,
they've tried to make them look like kind of innocuous pop stars of the day, friendly, approachable.
They are the Beatles.
That's it's the Stones as the Beatles, which of course is not what they were.
That's not what.
Or Herman's Hermits. You know, I mean, that could be Peter Moon instead of.
So what I'm going to do, and apologies for just breaking the spell a little bit, I'm going to just check that everybody's hearing what we're doing. And that means I have to bring up another page. And if I lose you, I'm going to come back, guys, so don't worry if we go sideways on this a little bit. And if I lose you, I'm going to come. We are working.
Oh, jolly good.
That's always good to know. So we are working. So welcome. It's a delight to be here, George. Got George Miller, Kaiser George Miller. And tell me the name of the company so people can find it.
It's KGM Marionettes.
Yeah.
Stands for Kaiser George Marionettes.
Yeah, so it's become a thing so rapidly.
It has become a thing, yeah. I mean, it became a thing during lockdown.
Yeah.
Because I was working away at the BBC, doing freelance stuff.
And you had a bit of background in building stuff.
Well, yeah, I've done set design for years and all that kind of stuff, but it didn't often involve making any puppets. It has once or twice.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody suddenly became idle, as it were. And I thought, what am I going to do? So I decided to make a Link Ray marionette, just for fun, for my own amusement.
Yeah. Now, was this something that was lurking in the back of your mind for?
No, not really. Not really.
No.
I'd made marionettes before, once or twice.
Yeah.
But I just thought, what will I do? Right, I'll make a link ray marionette. And I put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it seemed to be quite popular. So I thought, who will I make now? I'll make Bo Diddley. Why not? Another guitar player with a nice rough sound. And it just snowballed from there.
He's got his breaks off, though.
He's got his breaks off at the moment. Well, that's Escarita.
Oh, sorry. Where's
Bo Diddley is down there in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhat incongruously beside Tommy Steele. And that's Carl Perkins' head. Some of them are in states of semi-undress.
Yeah, well, you know what, we're catching them backstage, aren't we?
Well, exactly, yeah.
So the girls are all, oh, you've got,
That's Sister Rosetta
Sister
Tharp.
Rosetta Tharp, thank you. Whose guitar is Chuck Berry, really, eh?
Well,
Do you think? Chuck
I
Berry kind of came across that. And,
well he got his style from various places.
Yeah.
T-Bone Walker was a big influence on Chuck Berry. Sister Rosetta Tharp, I just think had a brilliant guitar style.
Yeah. And
Really.
we're in England here, aren't we?
We've moved over to England, yes.
Yeah, of course, via the Stones.
Yeah. They're hanging about near the rhythm and blues people.
It seemed to be, yeah, I wonder why.
Aye.
And this is all rock and roll right here, right? We're talking, what was the name of the TV show? Sorry.
Ready, Steady, Go.
Ready, Steady, Go.
Yeah,
thank
Kathy
you.
McGowan
That was
from
Kathy.
Ready, Steady, Go. That's Ian Stewart, the Stones roadie and piano player.
Oh, is that right?
I should say piano player and roadie.
Roadie.
Yeah,
And that's Wee Willie Harris.
that's wee Willie Harris.
So it all started with, remind me of the show again?
Ready, Steady, Go.
Ready, Steady, Go. It all started there, really, didn't it? I mean, the BBC had one as well.
What I don't know if you could say it all
Six Live
started
Special.
there. Yeah, there was a few of them.
Yeah.
Thank
But
Your
it's-
Lucky Stars as
Yeah.
well.
So, now, since you started doing this, I was quick on it as well. I got,
Mm.
and then all of a sudden, it was most weeks you'd have a puppet, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd have
Yeah, I mean
something.
each one takes about a week to make.
Yeah. And then not only that, you were building little studios for them and putting them on stages that we all recognised as well.
Yeah, there's been a few wee sets built just out of Kappa board. You know, they're really, really flimsy. You couldn't film in them,
Yeah.
but you can take photos in them.
Yeah.
So that's what this pile of stuff here is. That's bits of set.
Who's this? Sorry.
That there is a young Cliff Richard.
So, decapitated.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Cliff circa 1959.
There's no Beatles though.
The only Beatle is, so far, is Stuart Sutcliffe.
Oh, well, why not?
That's in there.
That's true.
He does have a pair of shades somewhere, but
Yeah,
who knows where they are.
and he's got Buddy Holly on one side. I'm sorry, I don't recognise this chap.
That's Billy Lee Riley.
Tell me
So,
about Billy Riley as
well, he did Red Hot. My girl is red hot. And Flying Saucers Rock and Roll.
Yeah. So, you started the whole merch thing going as well in the back of this, didn't you, last year?
Well, myself and Johnny Mabin, who's the drummer in the Kaisers.
Yeah.
He runs a print business, so he took care of the whole kind of printing the bubblegum cards and all that kind of stuff. So it's great, you know. He's got great knowledge and experience of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So and he's a big fan of old-fashioned merchandise, like bubblegum cards or trading cards from the 50s and 60s. So he knows exactly what kind of cardboard to use and all that stuff. Got them right here on the wall. That's
Can you present them?
the bubblegum card set.
And I shall scan down. So you've got a set
Mm-hmm.
already, and they can be collected now, George. can't
Well,
they?
they're sold as a set.
Oh, they're sold as a set.
Yeah, you don't have to
So
buy
there's
like
no bubble gum involved.
you get a stick of fake bubblegum, which we don't advise you to put in your mouth.
I shouldn't laugh.
No, you're
That's
supposed.
supposed to be a joke.
You're allowed. No, it's true. It's true.
No, but I mean, it's supposed to be humorous. The fact that there's fake bubble gum in the bubble gum.
Well, I mean, the whole thing, you know, one of the things about rock and roll, rhythm and blues to lesser degree, but certainly rock and roll, there is an element of humour that runs right through it.
Aye.
Oh, and if there isn't, it's not proper rock and roll.
It's not rock and roll.
No.
Interesting. I have noticed that. I shall look out for
It's
that.
it's not obvious humour, but it's there.
Yeah, that's right. And it's just, this stuff gives me spine tingles.
You were asking about Jerry Lee, there he is up there,
I know,
with his stripy shirt on.
I'm going to go and visit his niece.
Yes, yes.
Who is fabulous, and she'll be coming up here.
Yeah, she's great.
She is,
Yeah.
So we're going to a record store in the Barrowlands, and she's kindly agreed to sing us a few songs.
Brilliant.
Have a bit of crack.
Yeah, I saw her play, it was a good few years ago now, but saw her playing in Glasgow and she was tremendous.
So I'm looking forward to catching. It's a time for catching up, and it seems to be a time for the nostalgia of it all as well. And this could not be more nostalgic. Have you done a lot of travelling stateside?
A fair bit, yeah.
Where's your favourite place?
Well, I mean, New York City's great.
Yeah.
Nashville's good for certain things, and
Yeah.
you know, I mean, there's lots of great places. Yeah. I tell you what I don't like, and that's the gambling city.
It's lovely in the fact that it's so horrible, isn't it?
Well, I was disappointed because I said, "Oh, it'd be great." You know, what I wanted to see was the Strip, with the one that you see in all the old films.
Yeah.
And somebody said, "Well, this is the Strip," and I was like, "But it's all modern." Right. I said, "Oh, well, that's the way it is now."
America.
And I was like, "Oh no, it doesn't exist anymore."
Yeah.
And then, just as we were about to leave, I found out the old Strip does still exist.
I know, and it's in a mall.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, it's not so much a mall, but it's covered over.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah. It would have been great to see Elvis. Would you go and see Elvis?
Well, you know, I was never a huge fan of that era of Elvis, but I did. My partner Ursula, who makes all the costumes for the puppets, and I watched Elvis on the telly in Las Vegas, and it was brilliant, I have to say.
Yeah. So Elvis has. Oh, there's his record producer,
Sam Phillips. Yeah.
Sam. And Eddie Cochran.
Yeah.
Who, when I was working in Chippenham, used to go past his.
The crash site. Yeah.
Crash site. There's a nice memorial there for them.
Yeah.
And I was there just recently. So very cool, George.
I've got another record producer in the corner. It's Joe Meek.
Oh, there's Joe.
Yeah.
I've got a Joe Meek story as well. I was there with Martin Stevenson at the place where he lived and did all his recording.
Oh, Holloway Road.
Sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And the phone rang. And I said, "Answer that, man." It was a public phone right outside.
Mm-hmm.
Really? So that's, yeah, well, if you don't, I'm going to. So he answered it, and there was somebody on the other end saying, "We know where Joe lives." So he obviously did that as a hobby. Or he was looking out at one of the windows on the street.
Yeah.
Joe Meek. And
yeah, I've been to that door a few times,
yeah,
looking up at the windows and just thinking, God, stuff that went on in there, you know, amazing.
So that's it, the rock and roll history of the world.
In
a cupboard.
In a cupboard.
In Glasgow. Southside?
Yes, yeah, just southside, just south of the river.
Tell us when the Kaisers are playing again.
I don't know when the next gig is. They're kind of few and far between nowadays because it's usually festivals.
Yeah.
So I doubt there'll be anything until next year.
Festival. So your people should speak to my people about that.
Let's organise that.
Let's have a think out that can be organised. Because it's overdue.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us, guys. Any questions? I can't answer them just now because this is obviously a remote broadcast on a phone. But if you have any questions for George, I'm sure he'll come along and answer them, and I'll put up all the links that are needed. KG
KGM.